So we're in the concourse now, and this is kind of where everything happens before a gig, Tim. This is really exciting. The atmosphere here is incredible. And that view, there cannot be a view like that in any other arena in the world, really, can there? Looking over the Mersey, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's absolutely unique to Liverpool and the Echo Arena. It's especially powerful during the summer when people are coming here for the concerts. I think it just brings something that other venues just don't have and really brightens the place up, gives you a real sense of well-being before people dive into the dark of the concert. I think the other thing is that when we're trying to sell this venue to, you know, overseas events and international events, so I think, you know, we've won the rights to host the World Netball Cup, the Netball World Cup in 2019. They walk down here and they see the stunning vista. It really adds to our bids, and it's a real wow factor. And, you know, I know from our colleagues in Manchester, one of the things they always say is, oh, well, the one thing we don't have is the riverfront. And I think having the glass around the building really, you know, assists us in showing what a fantastic waterfront we've got.
It's great in here, isn't it, before a gig? Obviously the bar, the queues coming out with people getting a drink. You've got kids buying the flashing lights and everything. It's a real good atmosphere in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the concourse, you know, obviously the concourse can't hold all 8,000 people, so, you know, you can get about 2,000 people on here at any one time, and of course it can get really, really busy at the intervals, and, you know, I think it challenges us as well as the customers, and obviously what we're trying to do is serve people as quickly as we possibly can, but it does create a real buzz on the concourse. And of course we've tried, you know, done some new things. We've tried to introduce things like the smoking pass outs. We're always looking for things that we can just make people's lives a little bit easier in what is, you know, it's 10,000 people in quite a small space, so you just have to try and make things as easy as you possibly can, and as we operate buildings we learn as we go along, find ways of, you know, operating more efficiently, more successfully, and hopefully customers can see that in terms of the experience they have.
Well, the staff, I was going to ask, is there like a key part of your training where you've got to be smiling? Because the staff here, and I'm not just saying that, they're phenomenal. They're so friendly, and you do feel really welcomed when you come here.
I'm really glad you say that, because you know, I get it back from the clients in terms of the response, you know, and the way they interact with the staff. They are constantly telling us that the stewards and the security teams and the cleaning teams here, and, you know, all the guys that come in and work the events, that actually, you know, the attitude and the way we go about our business is better than any other venue in the UK. You know, we had the Amateur Boxing Association Elite Finals in yesterday, and all I got from their board members and their chief exec was how helpful the stewards are. Yeah, sometimes they have some tricky situations to deal with, and we like to deal with those as sensitively or as robustly as we need to, you know, given the circumstance. But I would hope everybody who comes here does get a really friendly welcome, big smile on the face, and we do things properly. But no, I mean, that's down to the individual staff, and I think the way we recruit people and the types of people we try to get in here is really important.
It's a good age range as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
There's 18-year-olds working here, but then there's the 60, 70-year-olds working here on the doors, which is great to see.
Well, you need a really good mix that makes a team, so certain people deal with certain situations differently, and I think having the experience of the stewards, a lot of them who work the football grounds as well, like Everton and Liverpool, so they're really, really experienced people. So, you know, in terms of that welcome, we know we've got really well-trained, experienced people, so when, you know, people can feel safe and happy that, you know, if their situations arise, they're dealt with correctly, as we said, but also they've got that welcoming friendliness about them as well.
Brilliant. Let's talk just briefly about, we've got Mersey Eats just behind me. The Scouse dog has got to be the best thing on the menu.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a bit of a story behind that. We've got a new catering company working with us for the last 18 months. They brought a consultant in over from the United States, and one of the things he really looked at was our hot dog, and so we've got a bespoke recipe now which has come over from the States, and that's why we think
exclusive to the Echo
absolutely
Arena.
Exclusive to us, and that's why the hot dogs here are quite special, and as you might, I've eaten a few.
Same, don't worry. As well, the Echo Arena, we'll talk about this now. The name, obviously, it's a sponsorship deal between you and the Liverpool Echo paper, but it works so well, you know?
Absolutely. You know, the Echo newspaper has been a big part of the success of the Echo Arena on a number of levels. One, you know, when we first did the deal and raising awareness of the building locally, in terms of supporting promoters and helping us sell tickets, because at the end of the day, if we don't sell tickets, we don't have shows. You know, that's why the artists come here. They want to play to full houses, and the Echo played a huge part in helping us drive those audiences.
We're going to go inside a room where there's many Echoes into the actual arena, which is just behind us, and a lot of people at home won't have actually visited and won't have actually seen this, so this is a great thing if you are watching and you haven't been here. Can we go inside?
Of course.
So from the concourse now into the main event, if you like, this is the arena. And what a massive, incredible space this is, Tim. How many people can sit in here? Is it 10,000?
Yeah, the most we've ever done is just over 10,000 seated, but if we have all the standing on the floor, which we do for quite a lot of the heavier shows, we've done over 11,000, which we did on when we had Oasis here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oasis was a great gig. I was there. I want to talk to you now about some of your highlights in this arena, because there's just been so many bands, so many divas, so many legends, so many awards, shows. Give us a couple of your favourites.
Well, I think we've done nearly 600 events over the last 8 years, which is incredible. But I think, my favourite would be the opening ceremony, because I think emotionally for all of us, that was an amazing night. Opening ceremony of Capital Culture, opening ceremony of the building, huge event. We had to start building the event up before we'd even taken handover from the builders. It was getting that tight. And I think it was a night when everything just came together. We'd had an event the week before just to trial everything out, and everything went wrong. And we were like, this is going to be a disaster. But, just walking around the building on that night, feeling so proud of what everybody achieved, and such a big impact on the city, and everything around that night was absolutely superb, and it all went to absolutely perfectly. So yeah, massive relief that we got the building open. And I think from if you look at highlights, Paul McCartney ending his world tour here was huge. Really wanted to come back and play Liverpool. Ignored all the rest. It was the only show in the UK that he did on that tour.
And was that down to him personally? Did he say, I'm playing the Echo?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sir Paul has got real affinity with the city, and I think he's been here a number of times, but we've never really had a purpose-built building, and we hope he continues to come back. He's obviously got the tour coming up, and we're one of 3 dates on that tour. So we are a smaller arena on the UK circuit, and I think for someone like Sir Paul to come and play here is absolutely fantastic. But even though we're slightly smaller, we still managed to get a lot of the big artists through. So people like Muse have been through here, Coldplay. Yeah, so I think we bat above our weight basically, and a big part of that is because of the city we're in. People want to come and play Liverpool.
It's great when you're here and there's a big star on that stage, whether it's Kylie, Lionel Richie, Paul McCartney, whoever it is, especially the big American stars, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. When they say Liverpool, you just feel so special as a Scouser that wow, that legend is saying our name.
But then. And they mean it as well, because we know that there are certain artists. Dolly Parton's a really good example. Which originally, when they did the second tour list, Liverpool wasn't on the list, and Dolly Parton said, why is Liverpool not there? The audience was fantastic, had a great time, put Liverpool on the tour list. So there are a number of artists who do influence whether or not they come into the city. Kylie wanted this to be the first venue on her last tour. So because of the music heritage, because of what Liverpool is, and Liverpool's getting an amazing reputation for having a fantastic reactive audience, the artists love coming here.
Let's talk about what's happening now, because they're setting up from a boxing event yesterday, and I think it's the Vamps performing tomorrow, so they're setting the stage for the Vamps.
That's right. So yesterday, Sunday, we had the ABA Elite Finals in here, so a whole day of boxing championships. So that was pulled out overnight, and the teams are just getting the seats ready and the stage ready for the Vamps coming in tomorrow morning. I mean, that's quite a luxury for us, because normally we are finishing at, say, 3 a.m. in the morning with one event, and we're having to turn it around for 7 o'clock the next morning.
How do you do that? Because obviously outside teams who are on tour with these guys will come in and help, but do you have teams as well that look after the move and the change? Yeah,
absolutely. It's a real combined effort. Obviously, the productions come in with their own teams and their own stage crew. There's a local crewing company that comes in and assists the tour production, and then we have our crew as well, which basically look after all the rigging.
The stages on some of these shows, obviously, like Top Gear Live was in recently, big, massive production. But then even put a stage together for One Direction or a Katy Perry or a Lady Gaga, some of the staging that they do, and it's huge, isn't it, with fireworks and everything. What's the biggest set you've seen?
Well, the Beyonce set was huge. Lady Gaga was so big they couldn't get everything in and had to dismantle some of it and take it out. I remember, Elton John was coming here and wanted to hang 3 10-ton screens. There's a lot of work goes into the preparation on some of these huge productions, and of course some of the productions don't use our stage, they're bringing their own stage, so they're having to construct the entire stage as well, the production, all the pyrotechnics, the lighting. It's a huge undertaking. The key thing about running a venue is you've got to be as flexible as possible. You've got to understand the different types of events coming in and the nuances that they bring. And what you're really doing is just trying to make it as easy as possible for every single event to come in here, and bringing your expertise to the table about the venue, so to make their life easy. And again, something we've worked really hard, because we do about 50 concerts a year through here. The rest of the events are non-concert business, so sporting events, exhibitions, conferencing, family events like Disney on Ice and things like that. So the types of events come through here really, really varied. And actually, the concert side is the easier side, because it's a routine. Highly professional people coming in here all the time. There's a routine that's been practiced over many, many events. The challenging events are the ones, the ad hoc events like the boxing yesterday, where you've got a governing body of sport coming in with very specific requirements, and you've got to work with them to translate that into the arena, provide additional service, so doing all the production, that kind of stuff. So it's really, you get some really interesting events through the door, and not necessarily the ones that the general public might think are really interesting.
Listen, can we go and say, I want to see two things before we go. I want to go up to one of them boxes, which I've never been in my life, and I want to go behind that stage and into the dressing rooms.
No problem.
Okay. So this is a first for me, being in one of these very posh, very lush boxes, arena club class. No, it is really, really. This is beautiful, Tim. So these are kind of exclusive to the people that buy deals for these boxes. Explain how it works.
Yeah, well, we've got 22 VIP boxes, and basically this is for people who want that little bit of exclusivity and want their own space to enjoy the concerts. So we do various different packages, from an annual box where somebody can come and basically buy the box for the year and then come to the concerts as their choice. We also do sell boxes on event by event basis, but on some shows where we've got a long run of shows, especially some of the comedy nights, what we'll do a kind of a share the box. So anybody who wants to come and get a feel for what this is like, we call it Club Class Experience. Just come up and share a box with other people who also want to do something similar, and just get a feel for what it's like. And it means that anybody can come up here and be part of this.
Mates in the process.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been really successful over the last couple of years.
But you can eat here, obviously drink. It's a great little room, and then you walk out.
Absolutely.
And look how close you are to that stage. Now, I've got a little bit of vertigo, Tim, I'll warn you, but that is amazing. What a view that is.
No, absolutely, and of course, you get a fantastic vantage point from up here. Totally clear views. It's really unique, and you get just a completely different perspective of a concert. But of course, what you're doing is, if people want to come up here and entertain, and they want to be able to talk to people, then they're not disturbing other people. They can go back into the VIP box. But no, the guys who I think we've got 18 of our 22 boxes currently leased out, and everybody says they absolutely love it up here. And of course, across many arenas, they do have VIP boxes, but we think the location's quite unique at the Echo Arena. And the other thing we've done is we worked really hard on trying to make sure that the sound quality is absolutely perfect up here. So we have got a supplementary sound system that sits in the roof and supports the sound on the stage, and the feedback we've had from the clients has been really positive.
But I was at a gig a couple of weeks ago for Ben Howard, and there was an incident on the front of the stage in the standing area. Someone fell ill. And the way that it was managed, and I feel like I'm really blowing smoke here, but you guys handled the situation so well, because you've got to remember that hundreds of people around there trying to enjoy a gig, they weren't even kind of put out that this had happened, because it was so well managed. Your team got there straight away and took the young lady out. It's precision. It's managed so well, isn't it?
Well, thanks for that kind of feedback. I mean, the really positive thing to say is we have heard from the lady in question, and she's fine. She did go to hospital that night, but she's written into us subsequently and told us everything was fine.
Just briefly on security, it's another thing that you are big on. Like any venue, anywhere in the world, things can happen. Fights can break out. People can fall ill. What you guys handle and see security as a real priority, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we try to create a reputation that if people come in here, they know they're going to have a great night. There are always the odd incidents that take place, and of course, there's a lot of training required to ensure that you deal with those incidents correctly. And I think sometimes it can happen if you're close to it, has a big impact on your night. So the stewards are really sensitive to that.
Can we go backstage?
Of course.
Can we see these star dressing rooms that I'm dying to see?
Yes.
Let's do it. Now, Do any artists ever forget? Because I've seen it a few times. Do they ever forget where they are?
It might have happened once or twice.
Right. And what have you done to sort that out before they go on stage?
Well, we did have it happen, and I was there when it happened. I thought, right, we can never have that happen again. So I've taken a cue from Liverpool Football Club with the "This is Anfield" sign. So above all the entrances where the artists leave the backstage to get onto the stage, we've put a big "This is Liverpool" sign.
You can just see, like, Lady Gaga or something giving it a kiss before she goes out to pitch that. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
So that's your doing?
Yeah, that was my doing. Absolutely. Yeah, you just can't have that. I mean, these guys are all over the place. It can be on the road for 150 days. It can all be a bit of a blur. But we just want to make sure that, you know, when they go out there, they remember where they are.
Should have put at the bottom, "Is right, lad," or something like that.
Well, they know once they're in there where they are.
We're going to go and see one of the dressing rooms. Okay, so this is it. So the journey for a big A-lister kind of starts here when they get into Liverpool, because this is where they're kind of hanging out before the show. This is their dressing room.
Yeah, this is one of our 4-star dressing rooms. So this is where all the artists relax before the concert and then make their way down onto the stage.
And these have been refurbed recently. And they're looking good, looking really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always been this thing in the industry that actually backstage doesn't have to look that great because the artists are in here for a quite short period of time and they go out. But we took the decision that we just wanted, you know, the artists to realise that we'd, you know, put a bit of effort in, and when they come here, it just makes the place feel a little bit special. So yeah, we've had great feedback from the artist management so far in terms of the big difference they've seen in the star dressing rooms.
Is it true that some of the artists come to Liverpool and love the venue so much, I've heard this a few times, that they ask their promoter, "We are going back to Liverpool and to the Echo Arena," because they like it that much?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I think I said, you know, the audience reaction in Liverpool is absolutely fantastic. So the thing that always steps out in the minds of the artists is how, you know, is the experience they've had on stage in front of what they see as the best audience in the UK. So there's a lot of artists, you know, that's a big part of touring and live events is that emotional feedback from the audience. And because Liverpool public really get into their concerts, it has a huge impact on artists wanting to come back.
Okay, let's just show me around. We've got mini bars dotted around, big flat screen,
yeah,
lovely comfortable sofa, but we've also got, and I can't really imagine Elton John doing his own ironing, but I can't even know, mate. We've got their own iron board, which is amazing if it works. What else is kind of in this dress? Sorry, Elton. I'll fix that there. What else is in this dressing room, Tim? What else can we find hidden behind it?
Well, basically, as you say, I've got drinks fridges. We've got the fully serviced television, so you can get the Sky and anything they want. You know, this is an area that they basically come and relax. And a lot of artists travel with their own stuff. So, okay, it's a really nice environment, but a lot of the artists just bring all their own kit in here and then try to make it feel about their own home.
There's one artist, and we can't say any names, that kind of took everything out and brought all their own furniture in.
Absolutely. It's happened at least once here, but there are a few artists out there who basically travel with their own backstage area. So they just clear all the rooms out, and for so basically every single venue is the same. You know, these guys can be on the road for 100, 150 days. So, you know, it's just giving them that bit of familiarity. They're in and out of hotels and they like to make their star dressing room their own space. Okay. So you can really understand that, you know, and you know, when we're asked to do it, we'll clear everything out because it's all about making the artist feel at home.